Good morning. Just obviously, just like I said the other night, disappointed in the outcome just from the game. And, I guess the approach I can already see is dialed in. Like I told you, I know the character of this football team. And, this is not a time to sit still. This is a time to keep moving forward. And we see areas that we can continue to improve on. But that's what we have done all season long. We continue to push, continue to go back to work, and these guys, again, they've shown how resilient they are, and you can see the want to in the fight. Getting down early in the game the other night, I think, and how we continued to compete is exactly what you see in the big picture of this season and what these guys are all made up of.
Start with Katie on the back left.
I think Saturday was the first time this year that y'all have used two players back in punt return. Just kind of, was that something y'all saw from Oklahoma that you wanted to try, or is it something they've been kind of building towards all year that it was something you wanted to try on special teams?
Well, their punter was a little erratic. He hit long ones and he hit short ones. And so some of the short ones, what would happen is they would roll out and end up being longer kicks because you play for the long game. And so I thought, our guys did a good job of the fielding part. Obviously, we had a turnover, which was a big deal. And so, from a schematic standpoint, that was a lot of the reason for that. And so you saw some of the ones that went longer. Ryan got his hands on those. And obviously field position plays a little bit of a role in that, but there were some shorter ones too. And so, I felt like from a schematic standpoint, what we were doing made sense.
With Saturday being senior day, do you have any kind of update on Jamarian Latham and maybe where he stands on looking to come back for his 7th year?
Yeah, nothing as far as what the future holds. I know we'll continue to talk with him on that here, and obviously there would have to be something that's done from the NCAA level to get that year as well.
Go to Nick, same side, right in front.
Yeah, the extended time of Wilkin at guard and Michael Carroll at right tackle. What did you think of kind of what they did together?
Yeah, I think they did a pretty good job. I thought there was things where our execution was certainly improved, and I thought Wilkin did a nice job getting off the ball in some areas. There's a goal line play that I really felt like he really had a low hat and showed some things that he's continued to work on. And Michael was out there competing. He's going to give everything he has. There's no doubt about it. He doesn't look like a freshman, and he's played a lot of snaps this year that are meaningful. And together, I think those guys had a good week of practice. And again, it wasn't perfect. Things that they could have been better on, but there was a lot of success that they had together as well.
Jump over to the front left, Colin.
Hey, Kalen. Two questions, if I may. First, was Deshaun Jones available against Oklahoma? And if so, why did Red Morgan, take the snaps at Husky?
He was available, but he had a good injury the week before in the game, and that definitely limited a lot of his practice throughout the week. And so that gave Red more opportunity. Day was available if we needed him.
Go to Joe, right in the middle, second row.
Coach, you addressed the mechanics of the missed field goal on Saturday, but after the missed field goal, the television cameras caught Connor Talty kind of getting upset with David Byrd and the placement of the snap. Just what's your reaction to that, and really what's your message to the entire unit as they look to improve? Yeah, we're all competitive, and those guys are competitive, and they want to make that kick and have the execution be at a high level. And every single one of those guys are always taking ownership. But obviously in that moment, Connor's a competitive guy, and he knows how important those points are, and the response and everything like that. Not exactly what you want, but it's also an understanding of how important it is to these guys, and they work together relentlessly in practice. I see it. There's a cohesiveness that these guys have. And so, in the locker room, I think they got that resolved very quickly after the fact, and we're ready to go out there and execute more throughout the game.
Far back left, we'll go to Matthew
Hey, Coach, early in that game, there was a big punt return from Oklahoma. Just what did you see from your special teams on that play?
I saw Latsier Brooks give unbelievable effort from flying down the field, probably 50-plus yards, to almost getting the guy down and then rolling and getting right back up and chasing probably another 50-plus yards the other direction. I think that guy right there gives so much and has been so productive in the special teams all season. I think there might have been about a split second where one or two guys hesitated, and that allowed for a couple blocks or just some just missed tackles, and then we lost a little contain. We knew in the return game, once he got rolling, he had some good speed, and we've done a great job against returners, but it's that one time when you flinch. And I don't know if we flinched, but we hesitated for a second and thought he was going to be down, and the blocks got back on us, and that's what happens, and it was a big momentum shift early in the game for them. That certainly got them 3 points, and we understand what the difference in the game was, and so there's a few of those one-off plays that were the difference in the game.
On the far left, we'll go to Theo next.
Coach, really big game for Josh Cuevas. We had the big reception by Edwards. Do you think tight ends could play a bigger role in the passing game moving forward?
Yeah, I think both, in particular, Cuevas and Caleb do an amazing job. And that tight end position's always been important to our offense. It's not just the pass game, but it's the run game and the ability and the flexibility these guys have to line up wide, be in the core, move around. It's not just physical, it's mental capacity to do all these things. Josh is a stud. You see him on the one play, make a guy miss in the flat, toe the sideline, and then, lower the shoulder at the end of the run. It's just the competitiveness he has. And Caleb, just continues to get better. You can see him with pad level for a tall guy continuing to work at it. He's got great hands. He's been, throughout the year, a guy that you can consistently count on to catch the ball in tough places. And so there's more to it with our tight end core, but those two certainly get the brunt of what we do as far as the reps.
All right, last question will be from Emily Grace, front right.
Coach, you mentioned that dialed-in approach that you're seeing. How thin is the margin of teams that use a loss like this to dig in and get better, like we've already seen your team do, and those that let it define them? And why has this team been able to show that they've been on the right side of that?
Yeah, these guys, and again, I got in the locker room, and it didn't surprise me, and I shared that with you, or you could feel what the hurt was, but also what the response would be. And the week of practice last week was phenomenal. And we can, again, I've shared with you guys many times how we can track that, how we can see it, how we can feel it, how we can understand what that looks like. And again, the competitiveness, the fight that those guys had, it wouldn't have been there at that level if it wouldn't have been invested in the early part of the week and the process that these guys go through. And that will continue to be the case. We have to use this week to continue to get better, and that is the priority. That's where our head needs to be, and in order for us to continue to have the outcomes we want, we got to make it as simple as possible and focus on what we can control. And that's our mindset, our attitude, and then that leading to the effort and, continually each and every day get better.